Hello, I'm Dr. Elaine Tong, and with me today is Wendy from Alisso Viejo.
Alisso Viejo.
And Wendy has an incredible story. I'm going to let you start talking about what you did before you came to see us.
Well, I saw just about every doctor and medical specialist. UCLA, the top neurosurgeon at Hoag, top neurosurgeon at Alisso Viejo Hospital, and about everything in between. And I was told that I had a Chiari, but it was minor and it shouldn't really be causing all of the symptoms that I had.
Chiari Malformation, is that?
A brainstem malformation.
Brainstem malformation. And what symptoms were you getting from it?
Just about everything you could possibly imagine. The main thing was migraines, headaches, everyday chronic headaches. Really a lot of tension in my neck. I had issues with my hip, just the list goes on. Throat issues, swallowing issues. Couldn't stand sound, couldn't stand movement, the light. Literally would just go on for days that I couldn't even leave the house or get up to take a shower.
And how long were you suffering from this for?
Well, I went through a period in college where I don't even think that I started with the headaches before I think that I even acquired the Chiari Malformation. I think that was traumatically induced. So I started with the headaches in college. And then at some point in time I had a car accident, and I think actually that's when the herniation occurred, although they say there's some genetic component, or maybe there's a predisposition.
Really it was the stress that happened, the physical trauma.
Right, and the fact, the emotional trauma from not having it recognized or resolved at the time. And then it just kind of started to compound.
So many years, say 20 years?
Oh yeah, I would say, and for certain, since my daughter, my 6-year-old was born, she's almost 7 now, something was triggered definitely that started it to be like a chronic condition. Every day I was in pain.
So you couldn't even get out of the house?
I couldn't even get out of the house. I couldn't function. I couldn't take care of the kids on my own. And we had to move from Garden Grove to Laguna Niguel to be closer to family. Literally just, there was this long period of time that I thought every day this could be my last day.
Wow, that's pretty terrible.
Yeah, it was terrifying. It was really terrifying and very difficult on my family. Because you have doctors, some doctors saying, oh, it's all in your head, and some doctors saying, well, yeah, I see this, but that really shouldn't be causing all these symptoms. But my husband, who lives with me every day, can see that it was very real. I used to get dizziness so bad sometimes that I couldn't even walk. I couldn't even get up and go to the bathroom without bumping up against the walls, and I had to pull over on the side of the freeway and have somebody drive me home.
I didn't realize your symptoms were that bad.
Oh, it was horrible.
So tell us how you came to come see us.
It's funny because I was at a Bible study and somebody's son had a drug problem, and my mom said, oh, well, Wendy has a real compassion for people like that. They accused me of stealing the prescription, forging it, all this stuff. It turns out they had just passed the law 2 days before that he wrote that prescription, that it had to be on a different type of prescription.
Oh, okay.
And so they sent it over via fax. So the doctor, I was told later that the doctor didn't even look at it, because when that happened, they just assumed. And the cop detained me in the back of the car to the point I was literally vomiting in my mouth. I was having a panic attack. I had never had one before that. And so I had this gentleman who had a son who had addiction issues. My mom said, you got to talk to her. She's got this compassion for it. And I just realized, how wrong those people are, and how we treat them like we degrade them, and we act like there's something wrong with them, and really that's how they got to be where the position that they're in. So he told me that he'd heard from this lady about you guys and that I should go. And being through everything I'd been through, I just thought, you know what, I'm done. I don't even want to, I'm fine, I don't have anything, And then I would have some days where my mind was working over my matter, and I was showing up to church more often than not. And then something would happen and it would get bad again, and I would just get hopeless and feel like, you know what, I just can't do this anymore. And I got to the point where I literally thought, well, there was one doctor who had a little bit of insight, and he said he would do the surgery ultimately if we couldn't figure it out. And I thought, you know what, this is my opportunity, because I know God will take me if this can't fix me. And so that's kind of what I was headed for. And then the car accident happened, and so my mom had come here, and she was really you know what, I'm really feeling better. The minute I came in and talked to your dad, I knew that this would ultimately be. But I did have a period where I was getting better, so I thought, why disrupt things? The minute the car accident happened, I said, I'm going. It was the thought in my mind was, this is why this car accident happened. I know it because I actually had, you know, feelings about that before, but I knew this was why I was supposed to be here. And I came and I can't even put it into words.
How do you feel now?
I feel like alive. I'm glad to be alive. And like, there's no doubt in my mind that I'm going to be alive tomorrow. I'm going to be alive 20 years from now. I'm going to be taking care of my kids.
How's your pain?
My pain my pain does not control me anymore. I definitely feel like I can control it.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely feel like I am on the road to recovery in terms of pain.
And emotionally?
Emotionally, I just feel like in charge, like I've regained my strength. Like I realized that I can't even put it into words. I feel so much stronger.
And how many treatments did you notice this after?
I noticed it after the first treatment. I noticed that I thought, well, I went home and I almost couldn't walk, and I thought, well, that tells me that they got to the source of it, you know. And then the second treatment, it was like I was even a little bit afraid to come, and I think the first 2 or 3 times I brought somebody with me. After the second treatment, I was same thing, but I definitely noticed like things were moving in my body. I could feel like, you know, actual movement in my body. And then after the third treatment, I've always been like, you know, it's like everybody's always having to feel like they're taking care of me or doing, you know, and I hate to impose on people. I called my sister and I was like, Chrissy, what are you doing? Can you cancel it? I have to go today. Because I just really felt like things were turning around, and I had some things that were like stressful happening, and you just kind of tend to resort or react the way you feel like you're programmed to react. And I thought, hey, this is my opportunity to turn things around. You know, this is my opportunity to take control of my life. And I can't miss out on this opportunity. It's like a window.
I wish that we had taped Wendy before all this.
I know.
Because no one would really understand how you were unless they saw you before. But
yeah,
the transformation is amazing.
I couldn't even leave my house. I mean, it was so bad that it's been a huge adjustment for me to be out in the world, like to go shopping. People look at me like I'm crazy, like, gosh, I'm so excited about.
And do other people notice differences in you?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, from my own family to people I haven't seen. My lady I went to get my hair cut the other day, she's like, your hair looks like crap, but you look great. I mean, what is going on? It's funny. And even my friends, you know, the few friends that I sort of kept with are just like, wow, you know.
We're so happy for you. Thank you so much for sharing your
Thank you so
story.
much. Yeah, absolutely.